Hello everyone, welcome you back to our channel, Legal Mindset at the Bar. And today we are going for the fundamentals of criminal law, and we are going to look at a very crucial topic, the topic of elements of a crime. That is the Actus Reus and Mensrea. The topic you should understand for you to understand criminal law. Now, we are going to discuss this topic in such a way that every one of you understands it, because it is paramount, it is sacrosanct, and very important for your understanding of the opportunity. And before we dive into it, I urge you to subscribe such that we move together, because by subscribing, that is the only way you can push us forward. Subscribe and we move on. Okay, to dive into it, what is Actus Reus? What is Mensrea? These are the elements of a crime. What is a crime? According to criminal law, a crime is a public wrong. That is criminal law. So, for a crime to be complete, the mind should be guilty and the act itself should be guilty. Those are the terms you're hearing. Actus Reus. It means guilty action or guilty omission. Mensrea, it means guilty mind. Okay, now, before going any further, I shall tell you that the general rule of criminal law is that no person or there is no criminal liability without both the general rule of criminal law, like the general rule of criminal law that an act alone cannot make a person criminally liable unless their mind is also guilty. The general rule of criminal law is recorded in the Latin maxim Actus nani facie, reum nisi menicitria. That is a Latin maxim to mean that an act does not make a person guilty unless the mind is also guilty. So we are going to start with the Actus Reus and also tackle the Mensrea. So for the Actus Reus, we said it is the guilty action or omission. So for your offense to be complete, your act should be guilty. It means if you do an act by accident, you're not guilty. But let us look into the forms or types of Actus Reus. Here we are going to see what they call the action crimes, the state of affairs crimes. We shall see the result crimes. To start with action crimes, here the Actus Reus is simply the act. For example, if committing perjury, you just have to go on the stand with the Bible or any religious book and swear an oath on something which you're not sure it is right or wrong. It means you have committed the perjury. Those are the action crimes. So we shall go on to look at the state of affair crimes. These state of affair crimes consist of circumstances and sometimes the consequence, but not the act. For example, they say on Sunday, not go into the library. But you, as a very serious student, on Sunday you go to the library with your books. That is a crime. Just being there. Those are the state of affairs crimes. They are being rather than being doing offenses. For example, if you see the case of Ara versus Rasona. In Ara versus Rasona, a French immigrant was brought to UK and charged with being in UK without a valid passport. Those are the state of affair crimes. If you continue and look at the result crimes here, the accused's behavior must produce a particular result. In murder, there must be death. These ones are the most common Actus Reus. In theft, the property must have been taken. Result crimes. If you are urging that there was robbery, some property must have been taken. If it is aggravated robbery, it means there was some physical, there was some force involved. So we are going to look at the elements of actus reus. For actus reus to be complete, the prosecution must prove the following. Prosecution must prove that uh, the conduct of the accused was voluntary. To voluntary, I mean the conduct the accused person did that act voluntarily when he was aware. If the act is involuntary, there is no liability. For example, those acts of sleepwalking, those guys who are possessed by the spirits of their ancestors, you move at night, that is involuntary. Epilepsy, automatism, that is involuntary. The act should be voluntary. The causation, number two, the causation must be proved that the effect was a result of the causation. I mean, if a person is killed, the accused's act must have been the act that resulted into the death of the deceased. So let us continue to Mensrea. Mensrea is the guilty mind. It refers to the state of mind of a person who commits the crime. So if we go into the elements of Mensrea, we shall look at the intention. The intention being the desire to do something bad. For example, the mens rea of the offense of murder is malice aforethought, thought, that premeditated intention to kill. If you have such an intention, it means you have the mens rea, a guilty mind. You can also look at conduct of the accused person. Did he run away? Did he threaten the deceased before the deceased died? You have these tendencies of saying, you will see, but after a few minutes, the person dies. It means prosecution will look into it. He said, you will see, after 3 minutes, the person died. So you look at the knowledge. The person should know that the act they are doing will result to death, grievous bodily harm, or injury. Actus reus. Even recklessness is one of the elements of mens rea. When I say recklessness, for example, you're driving in a very busy area, but you're in a speed of 50. You're reckless. You see the traffic lights, you see the zebra crossings, but you're driving at a speed of 70. That is recklessness, because you know that anytime you can cause death. You have the guilty mind. If you go to negligence as an element of actus reus, if you act negligently to people whom you have immediate care over, you have the actus reus. You can see the case of Donju versus Stevenson. And in that case, there was, I don't want to take you more far. So you can also look at the voluntariness of the conduct to see the mens rea. So that was it for the elements of an offense, actus reus, and the mens rea. And we said the general rule is speculated in the Latin maxim, actus non facie reum nisi menicipia. An act alone does not make a person guilty unless the mind is also guilty. This is Legal Mindset at the Bar. I urge you to subscribe, share, comment the topics you want us to discuss for you in our next videos. Thank you very much.